And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win? The week Who Would Win. From Brandon Overstreet, we have the question of, who was in the fight, Yuji or Denji from Chainsaw? Yuji from JJK versus Denji from Chainsaw Man. So, technically Chainsaw's more, so CM from Jujutsu Kaisen versus Chainsaw Man. And, I mean, okay, so the problem immediately is the type of fighters they are. Obviously, Yuji is he's a sorcerer or a jutsu sorcerer, if you will. But he's mostly just a hand-to-hand fighter, but there's nuance to his hand-to-hand. He's got things like the Black Flash, I can't remember the name of the other attack, but where he can literally cause like a second rebound attack kind of boom thing going on there. He can manipulate his curse energy. He's got enhanced physicality because of it, and along with training as well. And he has a contract with Sukuna. It's not a contract. It's like something called bonding or binding with Sukuna that allows him to bring Yuji back from the dead if he were to die. But he gets to kind of, inhabit his body for a short while. That means Sukuna himself has to be brought into the conversation of this fight should Denji be able to kill Yuji. And the answer, not only that, but afterwards, I believe it's called blood painted womb or something like that. His blood's gone through like a transformation where it can actually poison and pacify individuals. He can also manipulate his blood with cursed energy and use it as a weapon. If his blood gets in there, in someone, he can basically knock them out, cause them to be dizzy, all that. I don't know if he'd be able to kill someone with it. I don't know if that's ever proven in the series he can kill someone with his own blood, but it's skilled. Sukuna is obviously one of the most skilled individuals and powerful individuals in the JJK world. He is kind of a walking calamity in his own right. One of his, I can't remember the name of it. Unfortunately, I can't check because we literally, as I was about to start this video, just lost power. The light's coming from my window because it's bright out. So it's actually this is some really good lighting, all things considered. But it essentially allows him to just cut something, kind of bypassing defenses and all that, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I don't actually read JJK. Spoilers, how Gojo was killed, if I'm not mistaken. I could be dead wrong on that one. So with that said, sorry, I got distracted because I'm like, oh yeah, powers out. Random thought came to mind about that. Well, I'm gonna deal with that. Moving on. So with that said, Sukuna has a myriad of other abilities, including his domain expansion, which infinitely cleansing from multiple spots. You can't avoid it. Kind of domain expansion from the way it's described. He's also got it's something called Nui, which summons like animals to fight as a map. He can also manipulate shadows. We know he's like got at least city block. It's like, if not city block, but city levels of power roughly. And I know I'm going to get someone to comment saying you really should do better research, blah 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 blah. Guys, if you think I don't do research, that's where you're wrong. I do research. Could I theoretically do better research? Yes. If I had the information out in front of me right now, I could read it verbatim to clarify what I'm saying. But to the people, it's like, you shouldn't even do it if you're not going to research it. You are the people that need to kind of go away. I'm not going to be honest. Like, I've hit that point where I'm just like, I'm not fed up. I'm just like, I don't need to deal with you. If you're someone who's just going to comment, you shouldn't do something if you don't know the series, I don't need to hear from you, quite frankly. It's like everyone does things where they don't know a series, okay? Now, granted, we should also talk about the things we love and have more knowledge on. I definitely do that, but because of the nature of the Who Would Win, I'll take any and all comers and do the best I can with the information I have. It's just a little pet peeve of mine when people just say, you really shouldn't, you shouldn't, there should be a rule. You shouldn't talk about something you don't know about. Like, there should be a rule. You shouldn't make stupid comments about, people trying to do the best they can. Anyway, I digress. Denji, on the other hand, he's a lot more straightforward. I mean, he was already solid in hand-to-hand combat for what it was. He wasn't like a martial artist or anything, but he could brawl. In his hybrid form, he is ferocious. He will tear through demons, devils in this case. Devils, no problem. He's very, very dangerous and a destructive force. He can regenerate by consuming demons' blood. He can pull out his own heart and basically make a clone of himself by doing that. He's vicious in terms of raw combat because he is the Chainsaw Devil. And therefore, he's got the cutting power as well as the destructive capabilities, all that amped. What were some of the other things? Apparently he can manipulate chains and chainsaws on chains attached to his body. That's an interesting power, to say the least. But beyond that, he's apparently functionally immortal. Like, the only way to actually kill him is to completely obliterate his demon heart. So, I mean, it's a much smaller. No, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a much smaller selection of abilities when it comes to Denji, but he is kind of like the brute force, just like Berserker, compared to Yuji, who's at least a bit more of a finesse fighter. So if these two met in a fight, who would win? Yuji would easily mistake him for a curse. Cursed. Are they just called curses, or are they actually like called something? I can't remember that. And Yuji could mistake him for some sort of devil. Easy. There you go. In base, Yuji's the more skilled individual. He has more nuance. Like hitting him with the black flash and then hitting him with a double top. That would hurt, no doubt. Denji would feel it. But Denji can just keep muscling through far worse pain than what Yuji can actually dish out. But Yuji bringing in his blood manipulation is a trickier endeavor. Yeah, made a pun. Endeavor. I don't know. I have to assume there's a blood devil, because devils are born out of humanity's fear of things. So, at least in the Chainsaw Man world. So I have to assume there's a blood devil. And I'd imagine that devil would actually be pretty strong. There are a lot of people who have a fear of blood. Because I believe the more people fear something, the stronger that devil theoretically is. And also kind of depicts their nuance, their control, their abilities to some degree. Like, the future devil should, in theory, be an exceptionally powerful demon or devil. But as far as I can tell, the future devil was not necessarily the strongest of devils. So, I don't know. Either way, though, I'd imagine a blood devil would be pretty powerful. Anyone who knows Chainsaw Man better than I do, which is probably most of you, let me know if there was a blood devil. I mean, I could probably look it up afterwards if I'd done this, but no, I can't. I got no power. The blood that Yuji can manipulate and poison someone with, see, as far as I could find, there is nothing to say that he's immune to poison. Not that it would theoretically kill him, but he could still be affected by things like sedation or something like that, which is more or less how Yuji's blood works. So, I mean, it depends on how much blood he gets into someone, and he's literally got an ability that prevents him from actually being killed by this blood manipulation ability. So yeah, it's something that I imagine Denji would slice through the ribbons of blood, but he's so reckless that he would almost certainly get injected with Yuji's blood at some point in this fight. And if that happens, he does have a full transformation form he can go into that might offset it. Like, that might overwhelm it, but I'd say Denji would start to slow down. Yuji would probably come in to try to capitalize on it. Eventually, the problem is for Yuji is that Denji can't be killed conventionally. He could be injured quite severely, but as long as he gets blood in him, he'll recover. And he can't be killed fully without the use of without fully getting rid of his demon heart, which Yuji wouldn't immediately know. But Sukuna is old enough, smart enough, and clever enough to probably figure that little point out. Sorry. Okay. I was just turning on little gadgets. Side note, this has nothing to do with it. My friend got me one of these little glowing Pokeballs. This one's got Volcarona in it for Christmas. It's a really nice gift. And so I decided, because the power's out, why not have a little nightlight going right now? Anyway, so with that said, eventually I think Denji would overwhelm the properties of the blood. Like, he might adapt to it, or the fact that Yuji's inserting his blood into him would actually have a weird opposite effect. Yes, it might kind of slow him down and drug him up, but it would also give him blood to regenerate from any damage he has. It would kind of revitalize him. And so I think Denji could honestly come in, overwhelm him, just slice him up. He's and then Sukuna comes on scene. And Sukuna's kind of a different beast entirely. He can create extra limbs and appendages, organs. He can, again, he can kind of just bypass defenses and cut you regardless. With with his domain expansion, I would imagine that alone I feel like could end at Denji, because he'd be getting cut from all angles, like almost. It's not infinite cutting, but it's basically, it feels like it, and it has the similar effect. And if his heart is like completely shredded up to the point where he can't like grow back, that would kill him. Not to mention, again, Sukuna could figure it out. I have no doubt he's old enough, experienced to figure it out. So using any number of techniques, he could easily just take the heart out and just incinerate it or whatever. And so, because Sukuna has to play a factor in this fight when you're talking about Yuji, I'd probably go with Yuji in the long haul. I think Denji wins the encounter with Yuji, but because of the nature of Yuji and Sukuna, once Sukuna comes onto the scene, I think that's lights out for Denji. Sukuna's a different beast entirely. But this is just my opinion, obviously. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.